I'm Sam Otten, and with me is Jason Book, and in this video we're going to be talking about the Batman v Superman teaser trailer #1 that was just released over the weekend. Thanks to an early leak, we got the WB official version a little bit early, and then we're recording this on Monday night, which means we were just following the IMAX experience, which I don't think either of us got to go to, but that just happened as well. So we've got the trailer. I've been waiting for this for months. It's great to finally see it. So what were your reactions to it, Jason?
Well, I thought for what they showed, it was great. The tone was what I wanted it to be. It really focused on a lot of the stuff we'd been throwing around like theories for a while, like how the world's going to react to Superman, and that seemed to take up a lot of the trailer. Ben Affleck looked really cool in the Batman costume, and I really liked what I saw. And I just think I'd like to see more characters in the next trailer, because one of our main concerns was how are they going to fit all these characters into this movie. So what I've seen so far, I thought it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, so connecting back to some of our previous conversations, you're right about the first minute of the trailer is really this reaction and controversy and all these debates about Superman, which we talked about how that connects to Action Comics #1 from Grant Morrison, and we've seen some kind of set photos of the protests and stuff, so that was cool to actually see that kind of confirmed.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Batman looking pretty good. It's nice now to see him kind of moving. No like Batman fighting or action yet, which I think it's good that they kind of hold that out, because we still got a long ways to go before the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But we now we had photographs before, and now it's kind of like we got these moving photographs, which just made me even that much more excited about it. But one thing, so we've talked a lot about, are there too many characters? Are they going to try to take on too much in this? It should be kind of reassuring that they basically focused on, okay, Superman, the after effects of Man of Steel, and now Batman is coming into the picture with some kind of, seems like he's got some psychological issues that he's still dealing with, of course, as Batman, and how he's going to react to Superman. So they've stayed pretty like on the nose with Superman, Batman in this trailer. They didn't start already giving flashes of like way too many characters. So it seems like they are aware of this, keeping the story grounded in those two characters.
Yeah, it's off to a good start. I thought tonally it was really good. Playing up the whole Superman Batman thing worked really well. I really like the use of sound in the trailer too, like using other people's voices. I swear I heard like Charlie Rose in there and stuff like that. It made it seem really real world, which kind of heightens the reality of it, hey?
Yeah, so my first reaction was kind of like it sounds like you were sort of alluding to, which is that they didn't really show very much. Like when you think about it, they definitely didn't give away much at all. They didn't even show that much. Like they didn't show Batman fighting. They didn't really show Superman in action. They just have kind of these still images. So my initial reaction was like, oh, this feels cool. The music's good. But I was kind of like, man, I didn't see very much. But then when I rewatched it, and I've been thinking about it now for a few days, I think they gave us a lot of thematic material. I think they actually gave us a lot of the main elements that are going to be the sort of literary touchstones, like the idea of corruption, like Alfred talking about Batman and him kind of going corrupt from good towards possibly evil or cruel. So I think there's going to be like this story of maybe Batman's corruption in his like midlife crisis, or in his older age, or in him like feeling emasculated by Superman. And then there's the corruption of Superman's image, and he's trying to be, Superman in Man of Steel took this big leap of faith of like, I'm going to expose myself to humanity, and I'm going to just hope that humanity will actually respond positively. And now what we're seeing is, no, him trying to be this figure of hope is getting corrupted by people trashing it, or people worshiping him. It's like people reacting to Superman in all these different ways are kind of like corrupting the good things, the kind of simple good things he was hoping to do when he did kind of come out to the world. So I think that idea of corruption, and then I think following the religious imagery. So Man of Steel had a lot of religious imagery, kind of Superman as like the Christ figure, or even as like Moses being sent off down the river.
Right.
And now I really like it that they're following, like they're taking the next steps of the religious imagery, instead of just like staying with Superman as Christ, Superman as Christ, Superman as Christ.
Oh yeah.
They're actually going to that next step of like the Christ story gets taken up by lots of different people with lots of different agendas.
It's kind of
So
true,
Lex
yeah.
Luthor is going to do something with it. Charlie Rose is representing like the journalist side of it.
Hmm.
They even have Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's actually doing like the
Right.
astrophysicist, angle on the
Yeah.
aliens. And then you have people that worship Superman. You have people that are against him, saying go home. You've got the people that are scared of like the new or the aliens.
Hmm.
So for me, I'm like, wow. When I was thinking about it, there's just so much thematic content there that makes me think this is going to be a deep movie that really explores some themes.
Yeah, I mean, that part of it sounds great, and I hope they do go that way. And like I've just said before, I just want to see like Wonder Woman in the movie, or see like a little tease of a Justice League character, just to see that it's going to work well together, you know? Because so far, what I've seen in this trailer, I expected this stuff to work as well as it has, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this trailer, they kind of gave us the stuff that everybody sort of knew to expect, right? Like we
Hmm.
knew Batman's going to come into it, and we knew that they were going to show down with each other because it's Batman v
That's
Superman.
right. Yeah.
So really, this one just kind of confirmed what we sort of already knew,
Yeah.
but it showed it to us so that we could get a little bit more excited about it.
Yeah.
And then I think what this trailer was trying to do was to really set that thematic tone. Like we're going to explore all these different reactions to Superman, and we're going to explore Batman's psyche a little bit about how he's going to take this powerful hero coming onto the scene.
Hmm.
And we get a little bit of Lex Luthor in there, who's already, you can tell, kind of manipulating people, like I think he's really going to do in this movie.
For sure.
Now, I would predict that the next trailer might be like a Superman focused trailer where we actually see some like Daily Planet stuff and some Lois stuff.
That'd be
Because
good.
this one was more like setting the tone and then having Batman.
Yeah.
And then I would think maybe a third trailer is where we might get what you're saying with like maybe a glimpse of Aquaman, probably quite a bit of Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
maybe a Cyborg. Like I think that's probably like the third trailer or later.
Right. So, did you think that they did enough different stuff with Batman in here to make it seem that different from the Nolan films?
That's a good question. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if I have enough of that yet.
Hmm.
I know they've released some closer images of his costume and how he has like the steel. He has like steel knuckles and like steel tipped
Yeah,
boots.
yeah.
And they say he might be more of a brawler.
Right.
You might actually see some more fighting action and a different kind of style.
Cool.
He seems like he might be angrier.
Yes.
Than like more pissed.
Yeah.
Than the Christian Bale
Yeah.
version.
Definitely the costume looks different enough. That's cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think having the suit when he's actually in the Superman fight, that's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be something that we've never seen before in live action.
What did you think of that robot type voice at the end of the trailer?
I thought it was pretty good. I mean,
Different, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different take on it. I'm hoping that Mechanici, like where it's kind of digitized
Yeah.
or mechanical type voice, I'm hoping that just goes with his
Yes.
Superman mechanical suit.
I hope so too. Yeah.
I'm hoping that's not like his voice the whole time.
Yeah, and
But for what it was, I thought it sounded pretty cool.
yeah, and the Batmobile looked cool, but I gotta say it didn't look that different from the Tumbler, especially certain shots.
Especially from the
Yeah.
angle, that they gave. It's hard to really tell.
But it kind of reminds me of the original Batman movie and some of the shots they used. They're trying to make it like that it could be a little more maneuverable and go in and like take guys down. And maybe he's not even in it, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
With this take on Batman being like maybe a little bit more angry, I like how they have Batman starting the kind of the back talk or the smack talk to Superman, and I like how they just have Superman kind of floating there and then coming down.
Yeah.
Because in Man of Steel they established Superman as kind of pretty soft spoken. He usually just lets his actions do the talking and doesn't really have a lot to say. So I thought that it was fitting that Batman's kind of like calling out to him and Superman's just kind of has more of that quiet composure.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I thought that was well done. And, they're obviously playing up the fact that Batman feels either threatened by Superman or that he has to do something about his presence on Earth. So that part of it looks really cool. Like, I think there's a lot of elements from The Dark Knight Returns in there for sure.
Now, two quick things. One is at the IMAX screening, I saw on BatmanNews.com, the editor of that site went to the IMAX screening,
Okay.
and he said that they got an extra shot at the very end of the trailer. So it's like everything that we saw, then it goes to black, and then it comes back up for one final shot, which is Superman in kind of like a 3-point stance on the ground. faced off against Batman, and then the two of them charge at each other, and then of course, like right before they impact, it goes to black.
Yeah, no
So
doubt.
that was an extra shot, which would be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too. And I mean, being someone who's a big comic nerd, you start thinking, okay, if Superman's charging at Batman full strength, like, come on, right? But yeah, I'd love to see it in the movie though.
Yeah, I think Superman must be like in this fight. It must be established that he's kind of holding back, and he doesn't want to kill Batman. He's maybe just wants to like, bring him down gently or something.
Or we've got to see Kryptonite come into it at some point.
Yeah, I think that's a big question mark, so we'll have to see what's happening there.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you what your reaction was to this one shot, which is Superman like coming down into a bunker, and then these soldiers with like Superman patches on their arms kneeling down. What did you make of that shot?
Yeah, at first I really didn't know what to think of that. And then when I thought back about the trailer and some of the stuff that we saw earlier in the trailer, and that's what's great about us having a few days to rewatch it, I think that maybe the world is kind of divided on Superman. Like maybe at first, like, crazy kind of cult people start worshiping Superman. And I'm thinking maybe this is a scene where Superman is coming to kind of try and talk sense into these people, and they're kind of like bowing at his feet and treating him like, more of a big deal than he really wants to be. That's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, I think it could be that, and I think for him in that shot and in the shot where there's like the crowd reaching out to him around him, in both of those he doesn't seem very thrilled with the people
No.
that are kind of like worshiping him.
Yeah.
And then other thoughts that I had about the bowing soldiers was that this could be like a dream sequence, either from Lex or Bruce's perspective, where they're kind of thinking this is happening, or it could be that Lex has soldiers that are like paid to pretend to worship Superman because it's all part of a ploy to like make Superman look bad or something like that. So I think there's like several possibilities of what this could be. I think the least likely thing is that Superman is actually visiting his minions.
Oh,
I
I know. I can't see that at all. Like, they're not going to go and take a twist like in the Injustice comic or something. It's way too soon for that, I think. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that's the trailer. Pretty excited about it. I thought it was cool to hear Holly Hunter in voiceover and
Oh,
Lex
nice.
Luthor. Holly Hunter, I believe, is playing a senator, so I feel like she's probably taking the lead, like this political response to Superman.
Right.
Of we need to have like checks and balances on him. So I just really feel like they are going in kind of a realistic direction. I like the serious tone. I like how it seems like they're going to have some kind of literary themes that they're exploring, because that's part of why I love these movies and I love what Zack Snyder's doing with it, is that he is taking it seriously and he's trying to go to those deeper levels. Like I feel like I've explored in Man of Steel a lot, thinking about those deeper themes, rather than other kind of action movies where it's just like, oh, here's this cool stuff that happens and it's like visually cool or it's funny. But I like how they're going, actually exploring some serious themes.
I would have to agree. I think it was a really good teaser trailer because it showed us enough to make us excited, but it keeps us asking questions. And really, there's not much in there that I saw that, nothing really disappointed me. It all made me pretty excited to see more.
Great. All right. Well, hopefully we do see more, when the time's right for teaser trailer number 2.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.